Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Cricket Wicket, and let's give a big hand to Sri Lanka for making a great comeback from 1-0 down to take the T20 series 2-1. Yes, Sri Lanka won the third T20 and that too convincingly by 7 wickets with more than 5 overs to spare. As for India, Sri Lankan leg spinner Hasaranga literally terrorized the Indian batsman right through his 4 overs as India's severely depleted batting order collapsed to 81 for 8 in 20 overs. I literally had a nightmare that I was batting on my debut and this Hasaranga bowled me out on my first ball. Anyways, a day to forget for India and a day to cherish for Sri Lanka. Against the worst 11 India fielded, and I say worst as they were forced to dip their net bowling reserves in this game after Navdeep Saini was injured in the last match. Sri Lanka took that to their advantage as they produced perhaps the best bowling and fielding performance of the series. The pitch used for this match was a fresh one, so it was expected that the ball would come onto the bat a lot better than it did the day before yesterday. But it turned out to be a similar pitch to the previous matches. India finally won another toss and chose to bat first because Dhawan said they are backing their bowlers to defend whatever the target is. But looking back, you could say that was a bad decision. With a batting line that was weak because of course I wasn't there and potential dew coming in later, the question arises as to why wouldn't Dhawan select bowling first and try to restrict Sri Lanka so that there was a clear target to chase. And this time, when India came out to bat, India's worst nightmare came true. Shikhar Dhawan came, Shikhar Dhawan went for a golden ball duck. Now, when you say golden, you may misinterpret it. Golden in cricket is bad. I know that's weird. My mom loves gold and has a huge treasure. Anyways, all the pressure was then on the youngsters Ruturaj Gaikwad and Devdutt Padikkal, both who just made their debuts in the second T20 match against Sri Lanka. A few boundaries at first, but then pressure was building on Padikkal. You could see he was not very comfortable at the crease. His front foot wasn't moving much, while he also struggled against a short ball, and that led to his dismissal.
Big shot, and given.
Sanju Samson then came and went for a duck. Then Ruturaj Gaikwad got out in the same over as Sanju Samson by the birthday boy Hasaranga.
Pitching in line, impact in line.
If I had to describe the first few overs for India in one word, chaos. You had 5 recognized batsmen at first. Well, after the 5th over, you had only 1 recognized batsman, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar came to the crease inside the power play. They were small partnerships, but when you're 25 for 4, small partnerships can't really change the match for you. Soon, the last recognized batsman, Nitish Rana, got out. I was going to switch off the match right at that stage. I just couldn't bear to watch. But then, how would I be giving you my analysis? So I watched and watched and cried and cried. India made an unwanted record of the lowest score for them in a T20 national match at the halfway stage. Just 39 runs. Their previous lowest was 42. Add another unwanted record. India didn't score a boundary for 70 balls, meaning more than half of the innings, India went without a boundary. In all, India just managed 4 boundaries in 20 overs. Sri Lanka kept on picking wickets and it looked like nothing could go wrong for Sri Lanka. Hasaranga, the number 2 ranked bowler in T20s, got a 4-wicket haul while conceding less than 10 runs in his 4-over quota. Rightly deserved man of the match and man of the series, and a day to remember for him. India ended up with 81 runs and their highest run getter was Kuldeep Yadav. But be it the third 11 or Team C for India, they would still be disappointed because they came here to win. But these things do happen. And when it happens,
कोई बात नहीं सेन्योरिटा, कोई बात नहीं. बड़े-बड़े देशों में ऐसी छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं.
as I said, it's just a day to forget for Team India and a day to remember for Sri Lanka. When Sri Lanka came out to bat, they knew playing a few dot balls didn't matter at all because the score itself was not that big. They managed to only get 5 boundaries, but they won't take much as they won the match and T20 series comfortably. India's bowlers bowled economically, but the score itself was not even a fighting one. Rahul Chahar was amazing for India, showing the never die attitude, picking 3 wickets and conceding 15 runs in his 4-over quota. But overall, a lot to learn for India from this series. They have shown that no matter what team they send, they are always good enough to win the series. The youngsters will also be grateful for getting the opportunity to experience representing their country. And the question to ask is if India's batsmen are geared to play on these slow surfaces. We have seen they have struggled in these slow pitches and especially against the spin. So India has to adapt quickly because who knows, you might get these types of pitches in the T20 World Cup. And if India doesn't figure out how to counter the spin, oppositions will know how to attack them. They have been brilliant against pacers though. For example, Prithvi Shaw, first ODI, amazing against the pacers. Next few matches, Sri Lanka introduced the spinners earlier. He was back in the dugout early on. Talking about the last video's questions of who is the only Indian player who was born after 1999 and is currently playing for India, well, it's Devdutt Padikkal. And here is today's question. India has used the most number of players in the bilateral T20 international series. Can you guess which bilateral series it was in and how many players did India use? Comment down below if you know the answer. Just before we leave, Chahal and Krishnappa Gautam tested positive for COVID-19, so they will stay back with Krunal Pandya. So prayers from me and Baba Bala for them to recover soon. Till then, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. We'll meet next just before the India vs England test series. Tata and adios.